Today's episode of Overlooked History is about the first transatlantic flight. In 1914, naval aviator John Henry Towers proposed the idea of sending planes across the Atlantic from the United States to Europe. He wanted to show the capabilities and importance of naval aviation. Towers worked with Glenn Curtiss on the idea. They worked together on the design and construction of a flying boat called the America. After the America was finished, the plane was for Towers and Lieutenant John Cyril Poit to share duties flying the plane across the Atlantic. Towers would represent the United States, and Lieutenant Poit would represent his home country of Great Britain. The men did finish building the America and tested the plane, but unfortunately, with the outbreak of World War I and the activity of German submarines in the North Atlantic, these tests were stopped. After World War I had ended, Towers was able to resume his pre-war plans for transatlantic crossing. On May 8, 1919, 3 flying boats under his command, known as the NC-1, NC-3, and NC-4, left Rockaway Beach, New York. Each of the planes had a crew of 6 men. There were 5 legs in their journey as they attempted to cross the Atlantic Ocean. There were ships stationed along the route, so the planes could land in the water and refuel. In addition to his role as commander of the expedition, Towers was in command of the NC-3. During the longest part of the trip, a heavy fog forced both the NC-1 and Towers and the NC-3 to land in the ocean. Both the planes were damaged when landing, and neither plane was able to take off again. The men from the NC-1 were picked up by a passing ship, and unfortunately their plane sank. Towers and his men on the NC-3, however, were able to keep their plane afloat for 52 hours, as they sailed nearly 200 miles to the Azores. The NC-4 actually was able to complete the entire trip and landed in Lisbon. It had become the first airplane to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. The NC-4 next flew to Plymouth, England, and arrived 23 days after leaving New York. The NC-4 is now on display at the National Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida. Due to his leadership role as the overall commander of the transatlantic expedition, Towers was awarded the Navy Cross, which is the second highest award in the Navy, behind the Medal of Honor. In 1929, Towers, along with the 6 crewmen of the NC-4, were awarded the NC-4 Medal. In June of 1919, British aviators John Alcock and Arthur Brown made the first non-stop flight across the Atlantic. They made the trip in 16 hours, compared to the NC-4's 23 days. The first solo flight across the Atlantic wasn't completed until 8 years later, when Charles Lindbergh and his plane, the Spirit of St. Louis, landed in Paris on May 21, 1927. Thank you.